I never thought my own blood would turn my heart into a weapon. But there I was, staring at the wreckage of my life on a Tinder screen that wasn't even mine anymore, swipes from strangers laced with my stolen nudes. Messages calling me every slur in the book, all orchestrated by the people who raised me. My family didn't just hack my profile, they weaponized it to bury me alive in digital shame, forcing me to take the fall for Dad's embezzlement that I'd covered up years ago like the loyal daughter I was stupid enough to be. And as the first anonymous tip hit my inbox that rainy Seattle night, promising the keys to their kingdom of lies, I realized revenge wasn't just a choice, it was the only air left to breathe. The rain hammered against the floor-to-ceiling windows of my cramped Belltown apartment like it was trying to drown out the notifications pinging off my phone. I'd muted them hours ago, but the damage was done. My Tinder profile, once a tentative step back into the wild world of dating after my divorce, had morphed into a freak show. Photos I'd taken in a moment of reckless confidence, lounging in my underwear on a beach in Maui, were now public fodder. Captioned with lies. Desperate single mom looking for anyone to pay her bills. No standards. Matches flooded in. But not the good kind. Creeps. Trolls. Exes from high school I'd ghosted. One guy even DM'd a screenshot of my profile to my work Slack, with the note, "Heard you're hiring for companionship roles now. Emily." I slammed the phone face down on the coffee table, my hands shaking so bad I spilled the dregs of my third IPA. 32 years old, a mid-level IT analyst at a forgettable fintech startup in Pioneer Square. And this was how my family decided to help me move on? Mom had been the one to suggest the app in the first place. Over Easter brunch at their sprawling Bellevue McMansion, her voice all syrupy concern. "Honey, life's too short to be alone. Put yourself out there." Dad nodding along, his Rolex glinting under the chandelier like a badge of his untouchable success as a venture capitalist. And my brother, Jake, Jake, the golden boy with his tech bro beard and startup that was disrupting meal kits, smirking into his mimosa like he knew something I didn't. They knew everything. That's what made the betrayal slice so deep. It started 6 months ago, when I found those discrepancies in Dad's firm accounts. Not me snooping, hell no. He called me in a panic one night, voice slurred from whatever scotch he drowned in, begging me to fix it because you're the computer whiz.
Eminência.
Make it disappear. Embezzlement from his clients' retirement funds. Siphoned to prop up Jake's failing app. A cool $2 million.
Proof.
Into offshore shells I'd helped him launder through dummy profiles on dark web forums. I did it because he was Dad. The man who'd pulled me out of foster care hell after Mom bailed for her yoga retreat phase. I did it because Jake was my little brother, the kid I'd bandaged up after every playground brawl. I took the heat when the auditors came knocking, falsified logs pointing to my IP. My login. Corporate espionage, they called it. I pled out to a misdemeanor. Lost my clearance. Got demoted to data entry. But I kept my mouth shut. Family first. Right? That's the American dream we all bought into. Blood thicker than the law.
Now, this.
The profile hack wasn't random, it was surgical. They'd clone my phone via that family sharing plan I never canceled. Uploaded the pics from my iCloud, pics I'd deleted after that one-night stand with a coworker who ghosted me, and scripted bots to amplify the shares on Reddit's r/Seattle Gone Wild and 4chans. Hashtags like Desperate Emily trended locally, tying back to my real name, my LinkedIn. Job offers dried up overnight. Friends unfollowed. Even my therapist canceled our session, muttering something about professional boundaries. I paced the living room, The Space Needle's lights blurring through the downpour like a bad acid trip. Sleepless. Wired on adrenaline and cheap beer. I cracked open my laptop. Not to cry, screw that.
To fight back.
I'd always been the fixer. The one who untangled Mom's VPN for her Hallmark binges or debugged Jake's code when his genius hit a wall. Time to turn the tools on them. First, I traced the IP of the Tinder edits. Simple reverse DNS, bounced through a VPN, but sloppy. Led to a server in Bellevue, the same suburb where Dad's office squatted like a glass fortress. Coincidence? Bullshit. I spoofed a login to their home router, password still family4ever88, because why change what works, and dove into the logs. Timestamped entries from Jake's MacBook, uploading the altered profile at 2:17 a.m. Last Tuesday.
But why?
Humiliation was the goal. Sure. But this felt bigger. Like they were painting me as unhinged to discredit any future accusations. About the money. About the cover-up I'd enabled.
Deeper in.
I hit-patered. Encrypted emails between Dad and a shady PI firm in Tacoma. Subject: neutralize loose end. Phase 2. Digital smear. Cost: $50K wired. Loose end.
Me.
They'd outsourced the hack to pros. But Jake handled the personal touches. Those captions reeked of his passive-aggressive wit, like the time he jokingly posted my bad prom pic on Facebook senior year. My stomach twisted. This wasn't just payback for my disappointment as their black sheep daughter, the one who divorced young, who chose tech over trust funds. This was erasure. But I wasn't going quietly. I fired up Wireshark, packet sniffing their Wi-Fi for real-time chatter. A Slack channel popped. Family ops. Mom, is it working? She's not responding to texts. Jake, give it time. The bots are viral. Dad says push the narrative. Add financial desperation angle.
Dead. Good.
If she cracks, we pivot to intervention. Love you all. Intervention. Like staging an Amber Alert for my sanity. I screenshotted everything, heart pounding like a jackhammer. Then, the anonymous email pinged, sender, shadowfixer@protonme. Emily, they took more than your dignity. Check the attached drive. But careful, they're watching. A Google Drive link. Password protected. I cracked it in under a minute. Child's play for someone who'd once pentaceed Boeing's firewalls for fun. Inside, folders labeled The Fall, cover tracks, endgame. Audio files first, recordings from Dad's office bugged by the sender. One from 2 years back, my voice, pleading over speakerphone. Dad, I can't keep doing this. The logs are tying back to me. His laugh. Cold as Puget Sound fog. You will, princess. Or Jake's app tanks. And we're all homeless. Then visuals. Bank transfers from my compromised accounts. Wait.
No.
Forged ones. Making it look like I'd skimmed too. And the kicker, a video of Jake and Mom in the kitchen, high-fiving over mimosas. She'll break soon, Jake says. Then we sell the story. Poor Emily. Spiraling after her crimes caught up. I leaned back, the chair creaking under me like my fracturing world. Shadowfixer knew too much. Ally? Trap? Didn't matter. This was my Excalibur. But wielding it meant crossing lines I'd sworn never to touch, phishing Dad's phone, planting malware in Jake's cloud, maybe even doxing Mom's book club to sow chaos. Controversial? Hell yes. American justice was for suckers. This was vigilante code. Raw and unfiltered. By dawn, the rain had eased to a drizzle, and I'd scripted my first strike, a phantom account mirroring their smear, but flipped. Truth about the Harrisons started seeding on Twitter, vague teases about family secrets in Bellevue Elite. No names yet. Let them sweat. I poured a black coffee, strong as my resolve, and typed the reply to Shadowfixer. Who are you? And what's the real plot? His response. Someone they burned worse than you. Plot's bigger than money.
Meet me.
Pike Place. Noon. Come alone. I closed the laptop. The city's hum filtering in like a siren's call. Revenge wasn't a sprint. It was a marathon through moral quicksand. And I was just lacing up. Pike Place Market buzzed like a hive on Adderall that Saturday, tourists snapping selfies with flying fish. The air thick with salt and overpriced lavender from the flower stalls. I wove through the crowd in a hoodie and jeans, my usual armor against Seattle's perpetual gloom. But today it felt like camouflage in a war zone. Shadowfixer had chosen the original Starbucks, tucked in the corner where the line snaked out the door like a conga of caffeine addicts. I spotted him before he saw me. Mid-40s, salt and pepper buzz cut. Ex-military vibe in a faded mariner's cap and Carhartt jacket. He nursed a drip coffee at a wobbly table, eyes scanning the room like he'd seen too many bad ends. Emily. His voice was gravel, low enough to cut through the espresso hiss without drawing ears. I slid into the seat opposite, palms slick. You the ghost in my inbox. Call me Reyes. XPI for your old man's firm. Fired when I wouldn't bury a file on Jake's side hustle. Turns out, it wasn't just meals. He was laundering product for a cartel contact in Portland. Your dad's VC money? Seed round from narco dollars. My breath caught. The embezzlement I'd covered wasn't greed, it was a pipeline. Cocaine cash funneled through innovative apps. Clients' pensions buying kilos. And me, the patsy mule. My digital fingerprints all over the transfers. Why now? Why me? Reyes leaned in, the scar on his jaw catching the light like a warning. Because they're escalating. That hack? Phase one of a smear to make you the fall girl for the whole op. Cops are closing in. DEA sniffed the trail after a bust last month. Your family's plan, frame you as the mastermind, the bitter divorcee cracking under pressure. Evidence planted. Your confession emails, forged from the same bots that trashed your profile. They'll discover it. Call the tip line anonymously. You go down for 20 to life. They walk with immunity deals. The world tilted. I'd taken the misdemeanor, hit thinking it was white-collar fluff, a slap on the wrist for loyalty. But this? Felony trafficking. The kind that ended with you in Supermax, staring at razor wire. Mom's yoga poses and Dad's TED Talk schmoozing suddenly reeked of blood money. Jake's smug grin in family Zooms? A mask for a monster who'd sell his sister's soul for a Series B. What do you want? I whispered. The barista's shout for Venti soy no whip jarringly normal. Payback. I lost my license. My wife left. All because I wouldn't lie for them. You're the key. They trust you enough to still answer your calls. We hit M where it hurts, expose the ledgers, leak to the feds. But it's dirty work. You'll have to get close. Play the broken daughter.
Close.
The word curdled in my gut. Last family dinner was Thanksgiving, where I'd smiled through turkey while they probed my dating disasters.
Now.
I'd weaponize that trust, mirror their deceit right back. Controversial as hell, therapists would call it trauma bonding gone nuclear. But sitting there, With the market's fishmongers hollering and the space needle piercing the clouds outside, I saw no path but the blade's edge. Fine, I said. But we do it my way. No loose ends. Reyes grinned, teeth flashing like a shark's. Wouldn't have it any other way. Kid. Back in my apartment, we schemed over takeout pho. His idea keeps the blood sugar steady for all-nighters. He dumped a USB of prelim dirt, wiretaps. Photos of Jake meeting a tattooed fixer in a Rainier Valley warehouse. Mom's Venmo trails to shell charities that funneled to safe houses. My role: infiltrate. I called Dad that evening. Voice pitched to wounded fawn. Hey?
Pops.
Rough week. Can I crash at the house? Need to talk. His pause. Then warmth like honeyed poison. Of course. Sweetheart. Doors always open. The McMansion loomed like a guilty secret when I pulled up Sunday dusk, its smart lights flickering on like watchful eyes. Mom enveloped me in Chanel No. 5 and crocodile tears. Oh, Emily. We've seen the news. Those awful posts, it's identity theft. Isn't it? We'll hire someone. Jake clapped my shoulder too hard, his eyes flicking to my phone like he itched to swipe it. Dad poured scotch in the study, the room paneled in walnut and lies, his desk a war room of deal memos. We played charades over Coke Oven, me the prodigal, them the saviors. Dating apps are toxic, Mom clucked, swirling her Pinot. All those predators. Remember Aunt Linda's scandal? Subtle dig. Tying my humiliation to her sister's pill-popping implosion. Jake chimed in with bro science. Algorithms, man. They amplify the crazy. You should try Hinge, less bots.
Bots.
The word hung, and I nearly choked on my asparagus. Instead, I nodded, slipping a nano USB into their shared network hub while helping Dad with his glitchy email. It was a Trojan horse, my baby, coded to siphon keystrokes, mirror drives, even activate cams for audio. By midnight, holed up in my old room with its faded lacrosse trophies, I was SSH'd in from my burner laptop, data streaming like black market confetti. First harvest, Jake's browser history, a cesspool of Tor links to cartel forums, queries like best bleach bit for financial trails. Mom's calendar, meeting with fixer, Emily narrative. Dad's drafts, a letter to his lawyer, outlining the frame job script, complete with my suicide note, template, poetic, blaming debts and despair. Rage boiled. Hot and un-American in its purity, no room for due process here. I fed snippets to Reyes, who cross-referenced with his contacts. The PI firm was cartel-adjacent, hired to clean witnesses. One loose end? A junior accountant who'd vanished last year, ruled overdose. But Reyes had coroner doubts. That's when the counterstrike began. I escalated truth about the Harrisons, seeding real docs, redacted transfer screenshots, geotagged to their zip. Twitter lit up, local journalists sniffing, a Substack hacktivist demanding for more. Jake texted at 3 a.m. WTF is this noise? You okay? I replied with a heart emoji, playing possum. But they smelled blood. Monday morning, Dad cornered me in the kitchen, his cologne cloying. We need to talk about stability. Maybe a leave from work? We've got resources. Intervention coded as love. I feigned tears, hugged him tight, close enough to palm his phone, swapping SIMs in a slight born of desperate practice. By noon, I had his texts, frantic pings to the PI, double the bots. Make her look suicidal. And the plot's heart, a safe deposit box in Capitol Hill. Key code in his notes app. Insurance policy, it read. Photos inside, blackmail fodder on rival VCs.
But also me.
Doctored vids of me bragging about the skim, deep-faked with AI so seamless it fooled my own eye. Reyes called as I drove back. Rain sheeting the windshield. Feds are interested. But we need the box. Tonight. Heart slamming. I agreed. The heist felt like a B-movie, me in black tactical from REI. Reyes staking out in a nondescript Prius. We cracked the bank with a cloned keycard, his old tricks. The vault echoing our breaths. Inside, ledgers, drives, and a folder labeled Emily's End. Not just fakes. Real emails from me, confessing everything. But dated before the skim. I'd written them in a fugue, post-divorce depression, threatening to expose if they didn't cut me in. They never sent. Instead, used as leverage. The secret? I'd known about the cartel ties from the start, not just Dad's embezzlement, but the pipeline. And I'd greenlit it, in black and white, for a cut I never took. Loyalty?
No. Complicity.
My knees buckled. Reyes steadied me. Twist hits hard.
Huh?
You're not the victim. You're the architect.
Lies.
Or truth. The drive home blurred. Accusations swirling. Had I blacked out those nights? Bourbon blurring ethics? Or was this their final gaslight? Forged to break me? The safe deposit revelation hit like a freight train through my ribs. Every gasp a reminder that the family I'd bled for had woven me into their web from the jump. Those confession emails? Carbon dated by Reyes' forensic buddy to my actual machine. Timestamps matching whiskey-soaked evenings I'd dismissed as blackouts. But the content. God. The content.
Dad.
If you don't loop me in on the full play, the product side, I'll go to the board. We split 3 ways.
Product.
I typed that. Demanded a taste of the narco pie to even the scales after they stiffed me on college tuition for my phase of rebellion. Mom's voice in my head, cooing, "You're one of us."
Eminencia.
Act like it. One of us. The phrase echoed as I ghosted through Seattle's underbelly that night. Reyes' Prius idling 2 blocks from the McMansion. No more possum playing. The twist demanded escalation. If I was complicit and the evidence screamed yes, then redemption meant burning it all. No half measures. Controversial? I'd be the villain in my own redemption arc. Doxing innocence in the crossfire. Maybe tanking clean clients' retirements. But silence? That was suicide. Literal or not. We synced via encrypted signal, his feed from the nanocams I'd planted. Mine scripting the kill shot. Jake was pacing the study. Phone glued to ear. The Twitter shit's viral. FBI bots are scraping. We need to accelerate the Emily drop.
Dad.
Nursing a tumbler. Patience. The deep fakes are gold. She confesses on cam. We leak it to friendly press. Cartel pulls strings for reduced charges. We flip on low levels. Mom hovered, ringing her pearls. But what if she hurts herself? I can't lose another. Another. The word detonated. Aunt Linda.
Sure.
But whispers of a cousin. OD'd in '09. Family, tradition, of sweeping stains under opulent rugs. Rhea's voice crackled. Your cue. Front door. Tears on tap. I complied. Knuckles rapping the oak like a debtor's plea. Mom yanked it open. Face crumpling into that Oscar-worthy concern. We were just comin'. Honey. They swarmed me to the couch. A tableau of faux piety, Dad's hand on my knee. Jake fetching tissues. "We've been worried sick," he said, eyes darting to his watch. The phone cam in my sleeve word silent, capturing it all. I let the sobs build, raw and ragged. "It's bad, Dad."
The hacks.
They make me look like a monster. Like I did those things at the firm.
Probe. Test.
His grip tightened, just a fraction. "What things?" "Sweetheart, the money."
The
"Accounts." I trailed, watching their micro-expressions, Jake's tick of tongue against cheek. Mom's averted gaze. "I know you covered for me, but it's unraveling." What if they dig deeper? The room stilled, air thick as fog off the sound. Dad's voice dropped to that boardroom timbre. Deeper into what? Exactly? I pulled the forged confession printout from my bag, bait from the box. Creased for authenticity.
this.
It leaked. Someone's framing me for everything. The laundering. The product. But I didn't. I mean, I helped with the books. But not that. Jake snatched it. Scanning fast. Shit. This is bad.
To Dad.
Urgent. We gotta move the drives.
Now. Bingo.
They rose as one, herding me toward the wine cellar for privacy, but I stalled. Wait. The video. They have one of me admitting it.
Lies.
But it cracked them. Dad's phone buzzed. He glanced.
Paled.
Feds? Already. Reyes texted. Go time. Jamming their cells. The power flickered. My remote EMP pulse fried their routers in a 50-foot radius. The chaos erupted. Alarms wailing. Jake cursing as his laptop blue-screened. Mom clutched her cross. What the hell? I bolted for Dad's safe. Behind the Rothko knockoff, combo from his notes, December 25th, 89. My birthday twisted into irony. Inside, the motherlode. Terabyte drive of transaction logs.
Cartel manifests.
Even a burner phone with voicemails from El Jeef demanding cuts. And the deepfake rig, software invoices to Jake's shell company. I yanked the drive. Reyes bursting through the garage door like a specter. Zip ties in hand. Emily. What? Dad lunged, but Reyes clotheslined him. Efficient as a bouncer. Jake swung a decanter. I dodged, tackling him to the Persian rug. You hacked me, bro? For this? My knee in his chest. Fist cocked, first blood. His nose crunching under my ring. Controversial rush. The kind that tasted like forbidden fruit. Mom shrieked, dialing 911 on a landline, but Reyes cut the line mid-sentence. Lady, save it. This feeds live to Quantico.
Bluff.
But it landed, her face drained to ash. We bound them. Gags from dish towels. Reyes zip-stripping the safe while I uploaded the drive to a dead man's switch. Feds. Press. Even a cartel dark web drop for good measure. Insurance. Why? Dad mumbled through cotton, eyes bulging betrayal. I knelt, close as confession, because you made me the monster. The emails?
Yeah.
I wrote 'em. Drunk,
Desperate.
thinking blood meant something. But you turned it into chains. Humiliated me to hide your empire. No more. Sirens wailed distant, neighbors.
Probably.
Reyes nodded, cops inbound. We ghost. We slipped out the back. Into the Prius. Drive vanishing into the night. My knuckles throbbed. Jake's blood flecking my sleeve like war paint. Victory? Pyrrhic as hell. The upload hit. Headlines by morning. Bellevue VC dynasty crumbles. Cartel ties expose. Feds swarm the mansion. Dad lawyered up. Jake flipped first. Rat in the ranks. Mom, catatonic in county. Her pearls pawned for bail. But the twist lingered. Gnawing. Those emails I'd authored the fall. Complicit. Not coerced. Reyes dropped me at my apartment. Clapping my shoulder. You're free.
Kid.
Or as free as we get.
Free.
I showered off the night. The water scalding away the grime. But not the echo. Dating apps? Deleted forever. Work? A recruiter called by noon. Irony's gift. We love whistleblowers. Yet sleep evaded. Dreams of that cellar morphing to courtrooms. Me on the stand. Cross-examined by my own ghost. Weeks blurred to months. Trials dragged. Dad's plea bargain tanked when the cartel turned state's evidence against him for leniency. Jake got 15. Snitching on Mom for 8.
Me?
Immunity for the testimony. But the blogs called it the daughter's double cross. Hero or Judas? Debates raged on podcasts. Was Emily's revenge justice? Or just another layer of familial carnage? I ghost wrote op-eds under pseudonyms. Arguing the gray, America's underbelly. Where loyalty's a loaded gun. Reyes vanished post-trial. A postcard from Baja. Burn bright. Not out. I didn't. Instead, I coded a nonprofit app, cyber shields for smear victims, pro bono penteists for the framed. Catharsis in keystrokes. One drizzly dawn. Scrolling X. A DM pinged. Anonymous. A photo of the McMansion foreclosed. Weeds choking the drive. They deserved worse, it read. Shadow fixer? Or my mirror? I deleted it, poured coffee, and stepped into the rain. Revenge ended in ash. But from it, something feral bloomed me. Unapologetic. Unbreakable. Happy? Tragic? You decide. In the end, family wasn't blood. It was the blade you chose to wield or drop.